You think you know the story of Elvis and Priscilla? Think again. There's a secret, pivotal moment, hidden in plain sight, that changed everything between them. An unexpected gift, given by the king himself, wasn't just a gesture of love. It was a strategic move that fundamentally reshaped their entire relationship. Prepare to be stunned by the profound impact of this untold chapter. It was December 20th, 1966. And Graceland was buzzing with Christmas preparations. Elvis and Priscilla had been together for 7 years, but their relationship was at a crossroads. She was 21 years old, living in his world, but not truly part of it. He was 31, at the height of his fame, but struggling with something that was eating him alive. What happened that Christmas morning would change the trajectory of their entire relationship, but not in the way anyone expected. Priscilla Elvis had been living at Graceland since she was 17, finishing high school while dating the most famous man in the world. But by 1966, she was starting to feel like a beautiful decoration rather than a real partner. "I felt like I was living in a golden cage," Priscilla later revealed in an unpublished diary entry. "Elvis loved me, but he loved the idea of me more. The perfect girlfriend who would wait at home while he conquered the world." Elvis, meanwhile, was dealing with his own crisis. His movie career was stalling, his music felt stagnant, and worst of all, he was starting to lose himself in the process of being Elvis Presley. But Elvis had been planning something for months, something that would either save their relationship or destroy it completely. On Christmas morning, 1966, the Presley family gathered around the massive Christmas tree in Graceland's living room. Elvis had given Priscilla the usual gifts: jewelry, clothes, a new car, but then he disappeared upstairs and came back with a small, unmarked box. "This one's different, Priscilla," Elvis said, his voice unusually serious. "This isn't just a Christmas gift. This is, well, you'll see." Priscilla opened the box, expecting maybe a ring or a necklace. Instead, she found something completely unexpected: a key. "What's this for?" she asked, confused. Elvis smiled, but there was nervousness in his eyes. "Come with me." Elvis led Priscilla outside to a building behind Graceland that she'd never paid much attention to. It was a small, single-story structure that had always been locked, with private, "Do not enter" signs posted all around it. "Elvis, what is this place?" Priscilla asked. "Your future," Elvis said simply, and used his own key to open the door. What Priscilla saw inside changed everything she thought she knew about Elvis Presley. The building had been converted into a fully equipped recording studio. But this wasn't just any recording studio. It was designed specifically for her. There was high-end recording equipment, instruments, and on the wall, a sign that read, "Priscilla Presley Productions." "Elvis, I don't understand." "Sit down, Scylla. There's something I need to tell you." What Elvis revealed next would shock even his closest friends when they learned about it years later. "For the past 2 years, I've been watching you. Really watching you. Not just as my girlfriend, but as a person. And I've seen something that maybe you don't even see in yourself." Priscilla was confused. "What are you talking about?" "You have a gift, Scylla. A real gift. You don't just listen to music, you understand it. You feel it in a way that most people can't. Remember last month when you corrected the arrangement on Guitar Man during my session? You were right. The producers were wrong, but you were right." Elvis pulled out a folder filled with papers. "I've been keeping track. Every time you've made a suggestion about a song, every time you've hummed a melody, every time you've told me something was missing from a recording, you've been right, every single time. This studio isn't just a Christmas present," Elvis continued. "It's an investment. In you. In us. In something I think could be bigger than anything I've ever done alone." Elvis opened the folder and showed Priscilla what he'd been working on. Songs. Dozens of them. But these weren't Elvis songs. They were songs written specifically for Priscilla's voice, in styles that showcased her natural musical instincts. "I've been writing these for months," Elvis said. "Not Elvis Presley songs, But Priscilla Presley's songs, I want you to record them. I want you to have your own career, your own identity, your own success. Priscilla was speechless. This was the last thing she'd expected. But Elvis, I'm not a singer. I've never even thought about. That's exactly why this could work, Elvis interrupted. You're not trying to be anyone else. You're not copying anybody's sound. You have your own voice, your own style, your own perspective. The world needs to hear it. Here's where Elvis's gift becomes truly brilliant. He hadn't just built Priscilla a studio. He'd thought through every aspect of launching her career. I've already talked to Colonel Parker, Elvis explained. He's willing to manage you, but only if you want it. I've spoken to RCA about a recording contract. They're interested, and I've reached out to some of the best songwriters in Nashville. They're excited about the idea of working with someone completely fresh. But then Elvis said something that revealed the real genius of his plan. Priscilla, I need you to understand something. This isn't about me helping you become famous. This is about me needing you to become your own person. Because if you don't, I'm going to lose you anyway. What Elvis revealed next was the most honest he'd ever been about their relationship. I know you've been unhappy. I know you feel like you're living in my shadow. I know you want more than just being Elvis's girlfriend. And you know what? You should want more. You deserve more. Elvis sat down at the piano in the studio and started playing a melody Priscilla had never heard before. I wrote this song about us, he said. About what we could be if we were both living our own dreams instead of just mine. The song was called Two Kings, and the lyrics were about two people who were both powerful in their own right, supporting each other's success instead of one overshadowing the other. I don't want a girlfriend who waits for me at home, Elvis said. I want a partner who understands the music business, because she's living it too. I want someone who can challenge me creatively, because she's creating her own art. I want an equal. Priscilla's reaction wasn't what Elvis expected. Instead of being thrilled, she started crying. Elvis, this is incredible, but I'm scared. Scared of what? What if I'm not good enough? What if people only pay attention to me because I'm your girlfriend? What if I fail? Elvis walked over and took her hands. Priscilla, you want to know the truth? I'm scared too. I'm scared that you're going to be so good at this, that you won't need me anymore. But I'd rather lose you to your own success than lose you to resentment. That's when Priscilla understood. This wasn't just a gift. It was Elvis's way of fighting for their relationship by letting her go. That same day, Elvis convinced Priscilla to record one song, just to see how it felt. The song was a ballad he'd written called Finding Myself, and it was perfect for Priscilla's untrained but naturally expressive voice. What happened next surprised everyone in the room, including Elvis. Priscilla's voice on that recording was unlike anything anyone had heard. It wasn't polished or technically perfect, but it was honest, vulnerable, and incredibly moving. She sang like someone who had something real to say. Jesus Christ, Priscilla, Elvis said after hearing the playback, that's not just good, that's special. Joe Esposito, who was there that day, later said, I watched Elvis's face while Priscilla was singing, and I saw something I'd never seen before. He looked proud, but also relieved, like he'd been carrying a weight for years and had finally set it down. But here's where the story takes an unexpected turn. Priscilla didn't immediately jump into a recording career. Instead, she asked Elvis for something he hadn't anticipated. I want to learn the business first, she said, not just the creative side, but the business side. I want to understand contracts, publishing, promotion, everything. Will you teach me? Elvis was stunned. You want to learn the business? Elvis, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it right. I don't want to just be a pretty face singing pretty songs. I want to understand how this industry works so I can make smart decisions about my career. What followed was the most intensive music business education anyone had ever received. Elvis, Colonel Parker, and various industry professionals spent months teaching Priscilla everything about the music industry. She learned about song publishing, royalty structures, marketing strategies, and artist development. She sat in on business meetings, attended recording sessions with other artists, and even traveled with Elvis on tour to understand the live performance aspect of the business. Priscilla became like a sponge, Charlie Hodge remembered. She absorbed everything. Pretty soon she was asking questions that even seasoned industry people couldn't answer. By mid-1967, something remarkable had happened. Priscilla hadn't just learned the music business. She'd started contributing to Elvis's career in ways no one expected. She began helping Elvis select songs, advising him on arrangements, and even contributing to decisions about his live performances. Her fresh perspective and analytical mind brought new insights to Elvis's work. Priscilla started seeing things that we'd all missed, said Scotty Moore, Elvis's original guitarist. She'd listen to a song and immediately know what was wrong with it, or what could make it better. It was like she had this natural instinct for what worked and what didn't. Here's the twist that no one saw coming. Priscilla never released those songs. By late 1967, she had made a decision that surprised everyone, including Elvis. She decided that her real talent wasn't as a performer, but as a creative director and business strategist. I realized that my gift wasn't my voice, Priscilla later explained. My gift was my ability to see the big picture, to understand what audiences wanted, and to help artists reach their potential. Instead of becoming a recording artist, Priscilla became Elvis's unofficial creative director and business advisor. She started having significant input on his song choices, his staging, even his career decision. The studio that Elvis built for Priscilla became something neither of them had planned, a creative laboratory where they worked together as equals. Elvis would bring her new songs, and she would help him shape them. She would suggest new directions for his career, and he would explore them. That studio became the heart of our relationship, Priscilla revealed years later. It was where we were most honest with each other, most creative together, most equal. The gift had achieved exactly what Elvis had hoped. It transformed Priscilla from a beautiful accessory into a true partner. Here's the most amazing part of this story. Elvis's gift directly led to their wedding. In December 1967, exactly 1 year after he gave her the studio, Priscilla made a proposal of her own. Elvis, I want to marry you. Not because I need you to take care of me, but because I want to build something with you. As equals, as partners, as two people who understand each other's dreams. Elvis later told friends that this was the moment he knew Priscilla was the right woman for him. She didn't want to marry Elvis Presley the star, he said. She wanted to marry Elvis Presley the person, and she wanted to be my partner in everything. They married on May 1, 1968, in Las Vegas. The studio at Graceland remained Priscilla's domain throughout their marriage. She used it, not just to work on Elvis's music, but to develop other artists, experiment with new sounds, and explore the creative possibilities that the music business offered. Even after their divorce in 1973, Priscilla continued to have input on Elvis's career. Many of his best decisions in his final years came from conversations they had in that studio. Elvis gave me more than a recording studio, Priscilla said in a 1985 interview. He gave me the confidence to be my own person. He showed me that love isn't about one person giving up their dreams for another. It's about both people helping each other achieve dreams they didn't even know they had. For years, people wondered why Elvis and Priscilla's relationship seemed different from his relationships with other women. Now, we know. It was because he had deliberately cultivated her as an equal rather than keeping her as a dependent. The studio was Elvis's way of saying, I don't want to own you. I want to empower you. And it worked. For the 7 years they were married, Elvis and Priscilla functioned more like creative and business partners than like a traditional celebrity couple. When this story finally came to light, through Priscilla's private papers, after Elvis's death, it changed how people understood their relationship. It wasn't the story of a controlling older man and a naive younger woman. It was the story of two people who figured out how to love each other while still pursuing their individual potential. Elvis was ahead of his time, said music historian Robert Christgau. In an era when most men wanted their wives to be housewives, Elvis was actively encouraging Priscilla to develop her own career and talents. That studio represents one of the most progressive romantic gestures in rock and roll history. Today, that studio still exists at Graceland, though it's not part of the regular tour. Priscilla has kept it exactly as Elvis left it, with one addition, a plaque that reads, "Where dreams become partnerships." The story of Elvis's unexpected gift to Priscilla reminds us that the greatest love stories aren't about one person completing another. They're about two complete people choosing to build something together that's bigger than what either could achieve alone. Elvis didn't give Priscilla a recording studio because he wanted her to become famous. He gave it to her because he wanted her to become herself. And in doing so, he created the foundation for a relationship that, despite its eventual end, remained based on mutual respect and shared creativity until the day he died. The gift wasn't just unexpected. It was revolutionary. It transformed a traditional celebrity romance into a modern partnership, and it showed that even the king of rock and roll understood that the best relationships are built not on dependency, but on two people empowering each other to be their best self. If this incredible story of love, empowerment, and unexpected gifts moved you, make sure to subscribe and hit that thumbs up button. Share this video with someone who needs to hear about the power of supporting your partner's dreams. What's the most meaningful gift you've ever received? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to ring that notification bell for more untold stories about the real relationships behind music's greatest legend.